The Horror by Applesauce, a sex random Spike Angel original character Nightmare Moon main 6 fan fiction. Gather round all the ponies, whispered Roseluck, and I will tell you the most scary combined stories of Nightmare Night to exist. Then she told them while eating a marshmallow. That is freaking it, you ponies are not being the help I desire at the exact moment of frustrating pressure, controlling my mind with numbing enthusiasm. Prince Martin Willis was feeling it hard because his wife Twilight had called the princesses over for a secret love party without him, and they didn't even let him know so that he could at least be there with his bud Spike to watch in secret, while high-fiving and scoring the sun with their intense, frolicking, wistful stares of empty, vacant, and slithering nature. Wow, no wonder this is called the horror. This is the horror! Anyways, he ran away to go get consoled by Granny Smith at the farm of Applejack, hating the fact with a fury that drove his hands deep into his pony pockets, and he flew his mane into the wind and let it suckle against the breeze like a bee feeding the off of the angry graves of horned and shivering catacomb sugar. Suddenly things got horrible, and Nightmare Moon turned evil again because it was a nightmare night. She opened her eyes, and all that was to be seen was black, like nature filled with silent grief, which tormented her mind into a slobbery pleasure, and she lifted all the boobs of her upwards in distrust to smack at each other with slippery bangs and roaring, coarse anti-element. Run, dudes, because the night has made me evil. She kicked Celeste in the plot and then kissed Twilight on the neck before karate chopping her right on the girl parts and groping her eyelashes and her mane and her sexy clipped tail. Celeste screamed, "My student!" She cried and scratched her back with an abscissal, and her hoof dug deep into her skin with a rush that made her sigh with pleasure discourse. "Effing get the F out of here before she kills you!" Then she flew away to the castle to go hide till Nightmare Night was over and her sister was sexy and lovable again. Twilight screamed, but it was too late. Nightmare Moon gripped her throat and made love with her as an evil pony, rubbing her giant boobs all across the nose holes and ear holes of Twilight. She licked the mare tenderly on the mane and sucked the tears out of her eyes with tender passion and scary shots of ha-ha. "No, because you are evil," yelled Twilight, ruining the plot of Nightmare Moon and sighing, arising from terrible forgotten plane of deep and perverting pleasure. "I effing dislike you so much right now." She tried to cast a spell from the Book of Magics, but nothing happened. Okay then. Because she not in time, the casting spell did not zap across before it settled. She then ate Twilight's sparkle and a saddening gulpgasm. "Dude, I am so sorry!" she cried, but the evil side took over her and made her laugh at the horror of it, and Prince Martin Willis did not find out about the horror that presided in the house of his wife Twilight and Spike, his best effing friend, and the drug-hugging owl, because he was depressed at the fight they had with Mucha stomping ran away to Granny Smith. Only it was the apple farm that had it the worst. "Y'all don't come over, it's horrible!" Applejack screamed, crying and sipping the cider. "Howdy, Prince Martin Willis." It was so horrible. Martin Willis' eyes shot out, and he raised his head in anguish, letting loose a scream that followed the night of candy, and the fillies would forever be lost in the moans that twitched from the edged lips. "The apples are red!" He felt his stomach roll into twist as he watched the horror prank that had wrenched Applejack into a horrible natural color. Spike had switched the apples for her. It was a mean nightmare night prank. They cowered in boo-hooing and made pity love. He do English good and grammar good, don't he do? Anyways, and he rubbed her hairbands across his place and licked her inside her hoof grooves, and she kissed him with a sigh on the nose and rubbed his ear and chest with her hooves. They orgasmed, and she sipped the cider. "Martin, get all the effing apples, y'all!" They bucked every apple carefully, shaking the trees to the floor, causing them to spew apples with perfected error and symbiotic precision into the buckets laid plain before them. She gathered them in a vat and made them into flaming applesauce with a campfire fire. This 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 fanfiction. It's making me not say words right. God damn it. But Pony, howdy, y'all. Must make the love with me in the applesauce, or the new apples will not be blue again, Spike told me. So they jumped in and snorted the apples into his lips, spitting it against her armpits, and what the fuck? I mean, and the Jelly Pony joined in, and they nibbled on each other's fur, biting softly each other's soaking manes, and Prince Martin Willis the eyes, and inside the nose, ears of Applejack, rubbing her boobs and squishing the applesauce everywhere, and they grouped gasmed. The new apples would be blue, but that would not be until the next harvest. This year was deeply, and with much shaking and crying, the flinging sauce and rubbing hands ruined beyond the trees, and thrown in the lake and gnawed by misguided beavers of bad. Angle Bunny was stoked because he had finally got his love request on the night of sickly, deterring, and violent, sluggish evening of costume nightmares that black out even the moon with misdeed and horror. Fluttershy rolled her eyes. "You can make love to me only this because, it's a special day, Angel. Oh, look, they finally fucking spelled Angel right. Huzzah! I mean, she let him hug her plot and she tongue kissed him. Um, but only just this, once. Then they made love and Angel began to squeak in gleeful, achieving power at finally being the utter boss of her. Except Nightmare Moon burst in before Angel Bunny could bunny speak. He was having trouble. Nightmare Moon neighed, and her eyes gleamed with a light that sent beams of misguided moonlight into Angel's face, and he passed out. But it wasn't Nightmare Moon, and laughing and turning half Nightmare Moon, part chrysalis, part Angel Bunny. It was Changer Crystallus. You have stole the love of me. Fluttershy sniffed, sucking all the feelings back into her head. Suddenly Spike was walking away from work and being mad at Rarity at their fashion house because she kicked him out because he refused to trick or treat with the cutie mark crusader Sweetie Belle. As a dragon of fierce magnitude with flames that circled his body in venomous squares while he slayed him as a knight when because of all the bad nightmare night curse Discord showed up. Why the fuck not? Spike, you think you can effing defeat me and my guts with Willis, but even still, cross-eyed, I still the love of your life. She will fashion sigh for me alone. Alright, everybody, there's such thing as a fashion sigh. I wonder what that sounds like. You know what? I don't want to know. Fucking hell. Shut the F up, you stupid, ugliest beast that ever flied. He eyed the Discord, who laughed and rubbed his chin across his scaled body, and Spike bit his lip and flicked his tongue in and out, while vibrating his scales to twisting and languished lines. Only I, not only the better dragon, even though I am part to be, but I will dance beat you for her. Fine then, effing chaos is my thing anyway, yo, screamed Discord, starting to dance. He began to twist and circle while blowing flames, and Spike did it too, and they had a dance-off of love, but it would last forever until tomorrow because they were sadly equal good. Suddenly, back at the house of Fluttershy, Chrysalis, Nightmare Moon was teasing Fluttershy about knocking out her loving bunny. I will steal you, love, when I change into him, she laughed and yawned. Only you will never know. Okay, man. Fluttershy shook her head and she smiled with such intent that even the flowers wilted with and their petals folded into dust. But you didn't count on this one fact, you whole pony. I not in love with the bunny. Then she smacked Cry Stella's in the eye part of her face. Only as a pet but not in a sexy way, only tonight because it was a treat for being good. Um she sunk her mane of 9,000 yards, encircled perfect pink destruction of sexy and lookable hair deep into the disturbed pony whole horse's throat and body holes. You can effing die. She ripped her hoof out, and Chrysalis minced it with Nightmare Moon fell deeply with much ugging and screeching that floated enchanting in a senseless and befitted pile across the floor. And when you wake up, if you ever do, she nodded and kicked the air with her pink mane. You will be fed to beats of my cottage treehouse. I'm sorry that I'm sounding so monotone, everybody. This just this story, this fucking story sucks the life out of ya. It sucks the life out of ya. Well, I'd better finish it. I feel like I have to at this point. Where was I again? She nodded and kicked the air with her pink mane. Oh yeah, that I already read that. Then she made killing love to her until they both orgasm, and she purified the evil out of Nightmare Moon, and she became good again, and rid of the parasitic bad pony Crystallis. Angel woke up suddenly and was so turned on, but at the same time dejected because he was unloved in the way that was desirable to his fashion. Suddenly the night ended, and since she was purified before Nightmare Night ended, everything went back to normal because she was killed without being dead in that way, and Martin Willis made it in time the next day to watch everyone make love with his best effing friend Spike. Roseluck petted the flowers, and seeing every pony terrified to sleep, blew out the campfire and went to bed in the house. I should have just read Rainbow Dash Gets an Abortion. I should have just read that. And I will next time!